Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's do a complete beginner's start guide for Kenshi, shall we? Well, I'm a new player to Kenshi myself, and I booted it up on stream recently and just was absolutely overwhelmed by the amazing support I got from the Kenshi community as I was brand new, had no idea what was going on, and people just gave me an amazing amount of knowledge about the game and how to ease into it without being spoilery. And I want to take that knowledge, condense it, and present it to you, as well as what I learned from playing the game and learning things the hard way and dying and making horrible mistakes, all in a way that is meant to be simplistic but thorough and yet not spoilery at all. The aim here is to just kind of like set you up to succeed a little bit more in the game by giving you a foundation on one path to approaching the beginning of the game and understanding the UI, some of the systems, things that are happening in the game, how to make money, where to go, stuff like that. So let's dive into it. I'm going to go ahead and make a new game. And when you start out, you have all of these different backgrounds and scenario types that you can pick. Like you could be a wanderer, a trader, a paladin, holy sword kind of character, a cannibal hunter, a hive exile, on and on. There's all kinds of awesome different starting packages that you can pick. But we're going to go with a wanderer in this guide. This is what I started out with, and it says right here, this is the way the game is intended to be played. So I think when you start, this is a great place to go. You start out with 1,000 credits. This is the RPG play style. It's the default difficulty, and we're not even going to touch the advanced options. We're just going to click begin. So we go right in to the loading screen and to the character creation. All right, so when we think about what kind of character that we want to make, I feel like starting with a humanoid character is kind of like the most generic and basic, and that's what we're going to do in this guide. But you are, of course, free to go wherever you want. So you'll see this is the character creation screen. It defaults you, at least it defaults me as a female every time I've started out, and I've got a mohawk and some bandages wrapped around myself, and I'm looking really good. But if you notice up here, let's just kind of look at the screen on the character creation panel from left to right, top to bottom. They give you a randomly generated name, race human. You can select, you could be a skeleton, which is kind of like a robot. You could be a Shek, which is this kind of like proud warrior society. You've got these kind of like bug people. And then you can be, again, a human. And then within human or the other races, there are sub-races. So like human can be either Greenlander or Scorchlander. And I think starting with a Greenlander makes a lot of sense for us. So you can do so much in this game. And I want to just say that is what this game is all about. It's like, do whatever you want, you know, a crazy amount of customization, an insane amount of freedom for your character, and this guide is just meant to kind of supplement that with a little bit of help so that you just have a better understanding, because I have to tell you, I was totally intimidated and lost when I booted up the game. So we're going to go with Greenlander. They are from farmer cultures, and they're just kind of like generic human being. And they start out with these stats, which is 100 hit points. They get a bonus to farming, cooking, and science, okay? And you can obviously go, male or female. And then on the right are all of your choices for designing how your character looks. And I'm going to tell you, there are a crazy amount of choices, crazy in the best possible way. Like if I click randomize all a few times, you're going to see just some wild different things. You can customize your body, your face, your hair to pretty exorbitant degrees. So, like, I love this guy's beard and this guy's ponytail and his mean expression. So I think that's fantastic. But I'm just going to change a little bit of this. I'm going to go ahead and just make myself, like, tall, okay, and yet thin. And just have some real fun. You can make yourself as beautiful, ugly as you like, and whatever those terms mean to you, just go wild. I think this looks totally fine. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. When I first booted this up, I was like lost on this screen, just tinkering everything for way too long, and I want to dive into the actual tutorial. So this looks fine. You can go ahead and pick whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and just name myself Tutorial Dude. All right, and we're going to just roll with this. All right, so Tutorial Dude, are you ready to begin? And he's like, oh my god, yes. My beard and its braided segments are 100% ready. Confirm. Okay, so Tutorial Dude is here in the border zone, and when you boot up with a Wanderer background, you start in this town right here, which is called the Hub. Now, I'm zooming out, all right, with the mouse wheel. The game has a bunch of built-in tutorials that are very helpful for the controls that will pop up for you if it's your first time playing. They will not pop up for me because I have already played the game. But anyway, I'm going to push spacebar to pause the game and just kind of walk us through what's going on here. So this game has been described by some friends of the channel in a very good way as it's a living, open-world, freedom-oriented RPG. And that means, like, it has that kind of random vibe like procedurally generated living games kind of have, like RimWorld, Dwarf Fortress. But then you have this, 3D RPG feel that is evocative perhaps of like Fallout New Vegas in some ways, but is entirely its own kind of game. I mean, the first few moments I played the game, I was like, oh, this game has its own feel and it's totally deep and unique and awesome. So let's talk about this. It's going, time is passing, and you can push spacebar to pause the game at any time. And then you can use the function keys. F1 brings up the tutorial, and then F2 is play mode, F3 and F4 are like faster modes, and spacebar pauses the game. Or you can click right here with your mouse to go play and speed the game up while you're traveling or, gathering resources or just doing something in general. You can speed it up. Now, my guy is like blocking his eyes from the horrifying sun and wind and dust that is in this world. All right. So you'll see that there is a dust storm happening right now, and that's why my character kind of has their hand up to their face, and I have 0% protection against it. That's terrible. You'll notice as I mouse over where it says dust storm, kind of at the lower portion of the UI panel, above where it gives my character's vital stats on like blood, head, chest, and such. You're in a dust storm. It affects your accuracy in combat. So what that tells us right away is that if you hover the mouse on something, many things will give you further description in the UI. So if I, for example, hover over like my attack in the lower left, it'll tell you equipment bonuses, weather penalty, hit chance to your attack, defense, strength, dexterity, toughness, and the like. So there's a lot of good information provided by the game to you. You just kind of have to know what to look for and where to look for it. Now, of course, like I said just a moment ago, you can push F1 to get like all of these tutorials up, or you can go down here and click on help to open that same screen. All right. So that is a great place to go if you're just looking for some assistance. Now, this game, I should right away tell you, is permadeath. If my character dies, then this game is over. And I'm not going to spoil too much about that, but basically you can kind of think of it in this way, like Crusader Kings or something, if I have more people in my group and my character dies, like the character I started with, the game kind of moves over to another character in my group. And so you can kind of continue your saga or what you've done by passing the torch to someone else within your group and controlling them. So at the beginning of the game, when it's just you, like, everything hinges on keeping yourself alive if you want to make any progress, because if you die, it's over. But if you get more people or more, members of your faction or of your group, rather, then you can kind of move around that. But for now, let's just focus on keeping our character alive. So we have no replacements for our character, and to avoid becoming a spectator in our own world, because if you die, basically, the game will keep going, but you just have free-form control of the camera, and you can't do anything. You can just watch it go, which is hilarious in its own right. But speaking of that, that brings us to the camera. To kind of, I don't know if it's intentional, but to get your head around the fact that your character isn't special, you're not strong in any way, you're actually pretty terribly weak when you start out, and that this is a living world beyond just, your megalomaniacal focus, you can move the camera using WASD and just move away from yourself. Like, it doesn't focus on you. This doesn't move your character. You move with WASD. You rotate it with Q and E, okay? And so you can just kind of go out here and look around away from your own character very, very easily. If you ever want to get back to your character, you can just push double tap on 1 because you're number 1 in your party, or you can right click on your character portrait down here, all right, and do that. So here we are looking around, okay, and in the game, you right click to kind of set a location for yourself, and you move there. So if I unpause the game, my character is going to kind of run over to that spot. Now, speaking of running, down here in the bottom right of your UI, you'll see that there is a running person, and you can click this to be walking or even slower, okay? So there's like, decent speed, running really fast, and then this icon means run at the same speed as the slowest member of your party if there is more than one person in it. You want to be at the fastest speed possible all the time. Unless you're trying to, like, just roleplay walking around, just go as fast as you can, all right? It's good for you. Now, let's look at our character. So right now, my state is normal, so that's good. My goal is to go where I told it to move. So you'll see that, like, my character is doing its move order. And this might seem really absurd, but if you have more people in your group, it makes sense that it's kind of like RimWorld, where you're going between your pawns and seeing what job everybody has. In fact, over here, you'll see there's even a panel for jobs to assign to them. And let's go ahead and give ourselves a job. So if I shift left click on the medic button in the bottom right corner of the UI, you'll see that I now have a job selected for this character. And what this means is my character, if I mouse over medic, it says characters will automatically heal everyone else in the squad, including themselves, if they have a med kit in their inventory. So now my character is like going to automatically try to heal if they get injured or somebody else in the group gets injured with a med kit. Do I have a medkit? No. I'm going to push I to open up the inventory and check out Tutorial Dude's inventory. I have nothing. I start with an iron club. You can see it here under Weapon 2 on my kind of paper doll. And if I mouse over this, it tells you it's a blunt weapon class. It gives you the damage it does. It tells you some information about how much it sells for, how much it weighs, okay? Some flavor description, and then I have a pair of pants, and that's all this character starts with. I do, however, start with some money, so that's very, very good. All right, so I have nothing. I have no med kit, so we should probably get a med kit for our protection. All right, now This button that says INV also opens up the inventory. You can push I to do that. You can open up the status window right here or push C to open this. And this tells you your character's attributes. And if you mouse over your attributes, you get a blown up description with all kinds of cool information about what each attribute governs for your character. Over here in this larger box on the panel are your skills. You see we are starting out with like a level 1 in everything, and this is the game. You can level up all of this stuff by doing it. So you can be and do whatever you want, all right? Now, I said this before and I'll say it again. I'm going to push C to close this window. I'm telling you one particular way to start the game that I did, that I was instructed to do when I was playing the game, that I found to be useful. But as you get more familiarity, or you just want to go hog wild, you can do whatever you would like. I'm just showing you one path among many. All right? So you'll see here down at the bottom, this screen... or this part of the UI panel, it says blood, head, chest, stomach, left arm, right arm, etc. That's just telling you how injured each body part is, and we're good. And our we're not bleeding, so that's good. And our hunger starts off at full, okay, which is good. But you'll see this little kind of less than sign. This is or this arrow that's pointing to the left. This means that my hunger is going down over time. So if you're just looking around, you want to pause the game so that time doesn't pass, so that things like the shops don't close, and so your hunger doesn't, trigger. There's no thirst in this game, so you don't need to buy water or do anything with water. You just need to govern your satiety or your hunger, okay? So the first thing we want to do with this character is... check out the bar. All right, so if I look around this town, I can just kind of zoom around, and I want to show you that if I look at this character over here and I just left click on them, you'll see that in the bottom left, where it was displaying all of my character's information, now this bottom left corner of the UI is actually displaying all of the information about this character. They're a holy citizen. They belong to the faction, the Holy Nation Outlaws. They are malnourished, okay? Now, it says right here, second person pronoun you, when you mouse over malnourished. That is just meant to kind of reflect like you're controlling that character and you're viewing them as if they are you, but you're not malnourished. Like if I push double click 1 again or right click on my character portrait here, I am not malnourished. The only thing that's going on with me is that I'm in a dust storm, okay? All of my stuff is full. My hunger is full. But if you click on this person again, you'll see their hunger is down. They're getting hungry. They're malnourished. All right? You can see their stats. You can see what they're doing. They're just walking around the town, checking things out. You can click this up arrow to get more information about yourself or whoever you have selected, all right? So this is extremely useful, and we'll get into this a little bit more later, all right? Now, this is good for just seeing what people are doing and understanding what's in the environment. And you can also left-click on a building. So if I left-click on this building right here, you'll see that this like dilapidated structure over here is called the Storm House. It's also owned by the same faction, the Holy Nation Outlaws, or it's governed by them. It's in their jurisdiction. And it's in the town called the Hub, and it's open to the public. And I can buy it for 4,800 credits. So we are going to want to buy a house when we are beginning the game, but a cheaper house than this, and not in this town, most probably. I got into the trap of trying to build my own house in the beginning, and then was immediately told that this was a terrible idea for a variety of reasons. But you can certainly do that, of course, if you want. But the main reason is you want to live inside these walls, because outside of the town, it's dangerous. To be perfectly honest with you, inside the town, it's a little dangerous too, but it's even worse outside. So you want to make sure your house is like within the town as you're starting out, because you're kind of weak. Now, I said build your own house. How do you do that? There's a build menu over here. This kind of like hammer and nail that are crossed over here. And if you click on this, it opens up the build menu. You can see if I click on buildings, I could make myself a small shack. And this will take 5 building materials. And as I move this small shack around, okay, I can rotate it with the greater than or less than signs on the keyboard like this, and I could build it. But if it's blue, that means you're too close to a town to build it. If it's red, that means it's an invalid construction point. And if it's green, that means you're good to go. But I'm not going to build anything. I'm just going to push B to close the build menu. You can either click on this icon or push B to open and close the build menu. At least at the beginning, there's really not a good point to doing that unless you're just hell-bent on making your own house. Okay? So the other thing that I want to show you as we kind of look around is to hold down Alt, and that will, just like in, you know, Diablo or any kind of ARPG, it'll highlight the interactable objects, all right? So you can see there's like all these empty rum bottles and water jugs and things like that that you can highlight. But more importantly for us is finding the bar, all right? And if you hold Alt, you'll see that the sign for a shop becomes highlighted. So you'll see this big sign that just says bar. Well, that's a pretty good indicator, but also the sign will kind of turn yellow. And if I left click on this building, I'll see it's the bar. It's owned by the Trade Ninjas, and it is open. It has hours. It is guarded, and we can go inside. So let's go inside. I'm going to right click over on the bar. Remember, you can just kind of move the camera around to more easily do this. I'm just going to right click in there, and I'm going to unpause the game. And you can see my character just running wildly over here to the bar. The door is open. We're going to go inside. And once we get inside, we'll see a guy just standing on the table and being dangerous looking. I'm going to just pause the game and have fun looking around. This game is awesome. It is really, really, you know, disparate in terms of its kind of bleak, post-apocalyptic, at least that's how it feels to me, presentation. And you'll see this person standing up here. I'll left click on them, and they're a ninja guard with the Trade Ninjas. That means if I do anything rowdy in this room, people who are from the Trade Ninjas will, you know, take action against me. And by action, I mean murder. So we don't want to do anything bad in here because it's heavily guarded, all right? How do you know what's bad? Okay. If I move my mouse over this character, you'll see that like dialogue bubbles appear, so I can right click on them and talk to them if I want. But if you see how the magnifying glass look symbol has turned red, that means that that is a no-no action. That's like a crime in that area. And if anyone sees me doing that, I'm in bad shape. My first character in the game, the bartender who's right here, got knocked out by some kind of like altercation in the brawl. I thought, oh, while they're unconscious, I can just take their stuff because they have good stuff. And I didn't acknowledge the fact that the icon to interact with them was red. I went to take their stuff. The Trade Ninjas saw me. They attacked me and killed me. So don't be like me. Learn from my mistake. Don't just steal things from people who have people who care about them. We'll see plenty of people who are not cared about, who we can freely take from, but if you see that red hourglass, just know, the red looking glass or any kind of red interaction, just know that if you do that and somebody sees you, you're in terrible shape. Now, you can sneak, okay, to try to go unnoticed, but especially when you start out the game, you ain't sneaking by these people in broad daylight, all right? It's not happening. So maybe if you get really, really good, you can do this and get away with it. But for now, as a new player, let's just not try to steal from heavily guarded sections. So I'm going to right click on the bartender and I'm going to unpause the game and go interact with them. And when you talk to the barman, you know, it'll say looking to buy, and you can say, You can click on Let's Trade, or you can just push 1, whatever number corresponds with the dialogue option you are interested in, and you go into this screen right here. Now, I'm actually going to pause the game while I look at their inventory. This was a tip that was given to me. And by the way, again, I just wanted to give a shout out and say thank you so much to the Kenshi community. I had another streamer come in and raid me while I was streaming this, and everybody who came in, and people from my own channel, people who were just randomly interested in Kenshi, everybody came in and was super, super nice and helpful. And just so thank you to all of you. You guys are awesome. You've really helped me understand this game. And I felt like I wanted to give back and just try to help other people understand the game, because it's awesome. It just has a kind of a steep learning curve as you're just thrown in the deep end. But that's also part of the fun, I suppose. Now, I've paused the game because this tip comes from people who are watching me, which is that you don't want to be like trying to wheel and deal, and then the shop closes because time has passed, and then you are like taking stuff out of their inventory, and they misinterpret that as you're stealing from the shop. I'm not trying to steal. I don't want to do that. Let me just do this really slowly. So you can just explore what they have for sale and see what interests you. If you want to build a house, you can buy building materials here. But what we're going to be buying is food. Okay, so you'll see they sell like fish, they sell this kind of gohan bowl, they sell some other alcohol, you know, all kinds of food items that they have for sale. We want to buy this dried meat because it's the cheapest and it restores 15 nutrition, whereas like this does 20 nutrition, and look how much it costs, 445 for 20 or 15 for 69. This is the best bang for your buck. So just buy meat. You can just right click on it. It goes immediately into your inventory, and you can see that my money, which is down here, I had 1,000. I now have 931 because I bought this. If you still have the shop window open, you can right-click on the item and bounce it back to their inventory and get your full refund back. But if you close this interaction window, then you can only sell it back for its sale value, okay? So you kind of have some forgiveness while you're shopping. So we're going to buy the meat. You can see it goes into my inventory. Now, looking at the inventory, you'll notice up here in the top center it says backpack. When I first started, I thought, oh, I have a backpack, so I'll just drag some stuff up here. No, 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 no. This is where a backpack actually goes if you have one. We don't have one, but one of our top priorities is going to be to get one. So right now, everything I can carry just goes into this inventory. You cannot rotate things in your inventory, okay? So like you see how this plank, this awesome, like big two-handed heavy weapon, this thing right here, it is horizontal, and it takes up all of these boxes horizontally. You cannot rotate it and carry it in your inventory vertically. In fact, it has to go in one of your weapon categories, okay? So I don't want this right now, but okay, fine. Now, what else do I want? I want this first aid kit. Remember we talked about doing medicine, first aid? I'm going to buy one of them. I'm just going to right-click on one of them. They cost $69, not very expensive, all right? But you can see that the price has been marked up a little bit, so this actually cost $76, all right, I believe. Let me right-click on this. No, it cost even more than that, didn't it? Oh, no, never mind. It only cost $69, never mind. So that's just the average price, but we're seeing it sold for this much. Okay, right. I was just failing at my math. No, it does $69. So we have ourselves a first aid kit and some meat. In all honesty, I think this is fine. Like, I don't think we need to start buying anything else. You'll see water, but I asked about this. I was like, I should buy some water. I'm in the desert. I need water. You don't need water in this game, at least right now. So don't buy water. You'll see there's some crossbows and there's some other weapons, but we're not really going to be fighting too much to start out because I had some experience in combat, and holy smokes, when you first start, it's really, really risky. You have no armor, you're not very good at it, and it doesn't take much to put your character in the dirt. So let's just kind of ease into that later. And all I'm going to buy right now from this vendor are some food and some medical kits. And I'm just going to push escape then and close this. Now I'm going to push I to open my inventory. I'm going to show you something about the food. Remember, I'm at like 299 satiety. If I click on myself to make this reflect me instead of the barman, you'll see I'm at 299 hunger. You automatically will consume this food when your character gets hungry. Okay? So some things about hunger is your bar will drop down, and then your character will automatically eat, and then this number right here is not really reflective of like 300 units of hunger, and this does 15 nutrition out of 300 or something like that. You'll eat this, and then this will slowly fill back up after you've eaten and you feel good, and your nutrition is raised. So this doesn't instantly refill just 15 units of this. It takes some time, it goes up, and you will eat automatically when you are hungry. If you have medic selected as a job like we do, you will also use this automatically when you need it, okay? So that's good enough for us to buy at the very beginning. You'll see that if I hold Alt, there's some stuff lying around. There's like cactus rum and cactus and stuff. There's some bread on the table. You'll notice that I can pick this up, but the bag icon is red. That would be theft, and I will be killed. So we're not going to do that. Here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to take our character, and we're going to look for copper to mine. So one of the things you can do early on to make money is to labor, okay? And so we're going to labor by mining. And if I move my mouse and zoom way out from the town, you can see that this right here, if I mouse over this like big rock, then a mining pick appears because I can mine from this. You don't need to buy a mining pick. You can just mine yourself without anything but the starting stuff, okay? So if I left click on this, you'll see it's an iron resource, but we don't actually want to mine iron because it's less valuable than copper. Again, everything appears in the lower left. It says iron resource. No faction owns this, so we can freely mine this without reprisal from people for being on their territory, but not from reprisal of just wandering creatures or enemies who want to kill us, so we have to look out for that. But that's what's going on there. Now, this little stack down here, if I mouse over this, you'll see there's a smaller area and the mining pick appears, and if I click on this, it'll say copper resource. Every time you start the game, the world is kind of like, in some ways, fresh to you, and there are random elements to it. People, factions moving around, and, you know, things like that, but there's also a whole host of fixed information to your seed. So if I push M to open the map, for example, and I zoom in on the map, you'll see I'm going to kind of just like hold left click and drag the map, and I'm using the mouse wheel to move around on the map, and I'm going to zoom in, and you'll see I'm in the hub. This is the town I'm in. You'll see kind of two icons. There's a blue dot, and then there's a blue arrow. The blue dot is me, and the blue arrow is actually the camera and where it's pointing. So you can see if I use WASD, I'm moving around this arrow on the map, but that's just reflecting like where I'm looking and in what direction I'm looking. So this is the best way to kind of orient yourself. Like I'm looking to the south right now, right? And if I come out this gate on this side of the town, then I see this iron ore and this copper ore. Regardless of what seed you come into the game, if you are in the hub, these ore nodes will be here for you. They were here in all the games I played anyway. Okay, so our objective at some point, if now that we're looking at the map, is to get to this town down here called Squin, because Squin has better protection, in my opinion. I like the guards better, and way better shopping options. The hub is a little bit too rough and tumble for me. It's a little too run down, so I'm going to avoid doing anything with that, all right? So I'm going to kind of close this up, okay? Now, at this point, I'm in here, and I'm going to show you how to move around. So you can just move the camera and, like, just right-click over here by this copper node, and now my character is going to move there. And I'm going to zoom way, way out, and you'll see my character start to run over there, okay? And there they go, and they're moving around. Remember, you can just right-click on yourself to have the camera follow you, and then take control of it with WASD. I'm going to pause it. Now I'm outside the town. And so it's always good while you're outside the town to be mindful of threats. So to be mindful of threats, I'm going to sneak. I'm going to click down here, sneak, okay? And you're going to see that my character then attempts to start sneaking. And what happens while I'm sneaking are some very useful pieces of information appear on my character's tooltip. So you'll see an eyeball that is blue and a sun. All right, so the sun on the right indicates how much light there is around your character, which is affecting your concealment. But then also this blue eyeball means, can anyone see you? If it's blue, it means no one can see you. Nothing can see you right now, all right, except for us on the camera, but that doesn't count. So this is very useful to know if you're being observed, because if you are, you immediately want to think, do I need to run back to the town for protection? All right? So I'm going to just keep running, and now you'll see my character stops running because I told them to sneak. If I push C, and if I mouse over my stealth, you'll see that on my skills, my stealth is raising as I'm sneaking. So I'm kind of just like leveling this up as I go. And you'll see I'm moving a little slower. I'm not running. If you want to move faster, just push F3 or even F4 to go as fast as possible. And I'm still sneaking, but I'm moving. All right, now I'm going to pause the game. I'm at my destination. So again, push C, open this up, and your skills raise by use. So I already got stealth up to 30% of the way to the next level. If you want to know what stealth does, you can see in the description as I moused over it. It helps you remain undetected while sneaking, avoids discovery while in disguise, avoids discovery while you have a bounty. For example, it's aided by, okay, so you can see what's benefiting it, being in the darkness. I'm not in the darkness. And special gear. I have no special gear. It's hindered by having wounded legs or a wounded torso and being encumbered. All right, so very, very helpful information. Now, I'm going to mouse over this copper node. I'm going to left click it, and it says copper resource. It says the copper quality is 80, so the max efficiency for mining at this node is 80%. It's not as good as if we're at this like larger iron node right here, which is at 120% efficiency, 100 quality, but it's more valuable. So if I right click on this, when the mattock appears, you'll see that my character like busts out a mining pick, and I'm just going to unpause the game, and my character begins mining. Now, while you're mining, you want to have it on like the fastest speed possible because it's super slow. I'll show you. If I go F2, like regular speed, look at how slow this animation is. Ugh. As I start mining. So really slow. So I'm going to pause it again. I'm going to left click on this. And while you're mining, you'll see that this window appears when you left click on the resource that you're mining. It says copper resource, and there's an output window. This progress bar fills up, and then this section will obtain a copper chunk that I need to transition into my inventory when I am ready. Okay, so I'll show you what happens. I'm going to unpause it. I'm also going to show you that we are leveling up the laboring skill. So if I mouse over laboring in the skills panel by pushing C or just pushing status window here on the UI, I am raising my mining by doing laboring, okay? And if I push F4, we can start going faster, and you'll see it just really, really flies up there. Now, this bar is going up, and I'm just going to zoom out and check things out. Remember, as long as that eyeball is blue, I am sneaking and nobody can see me, all right? Now, interestingly enough, I'm going to pause the game, and you'll see that I can mouse over, like, copper quality, the number of workers. This means like if I have more people in my group, I can assign them, I can give them a job to be like mining copper for me and doing all kinds of things. I can give people different tasks all over the place if I want, and do things more quickly. But right now it's just me. Only 2 people can work this at a time. Efficiency is 40%. It's because, you know, there's not as many workers here, and it's buried under the ground mostly, so that's affecting us. All right. We actually get a boost to mining in the light, from what I understand. So because it's daytime, we're mining at a higher rate, perhaps. And I'm going to unpause the game while this happens and just let this fill up. Okay, so we are leveling up our mining, and boom, you'll see that a copper chunk has appeared right here. And if I mouse over this, it says it sells for 173 credits, which is a lot of money. This is beautiful. We're making a bunch of money with this, all right? So fantastic. Now, it does have 4 kilograms of weight. So what does that mean? If I push my inventory, you'll see that my character is not super strong. So right now, I'm carrying 6 kilograms of stuff, and so I can carry up to 16 and have no effect on my encumbrance. But as I get more and more, I'm going to become encumbered. So if I right-click on this copper from the resource panel, it'll bounce into my inventory, and you see that the 4 kilograms adds to the 6 that I had, and now I'm at 10 out of 16 for my overall encumbrance. This doesn't matter at the moment, but it will matter if I need to sneak, or more importantly, if I need to run away. So if I need to run and I'm encumbered because I'm carrying a bunch of heavy stuff, you want to drop your stuff right away so that you can run at full speed. But right now we're doing okay. By the way, I'm going to pause it and just click on myself. If you want to see your running speed while you're clicked on yourself, okay, you can look over here. You can see my encumbrance rate is 0, so that's good. My goal is I'm operating a machine, which is just, you know, mining. But if I click on this up arrow, you'll see that my run speed right now is max of 15, okay? And it's being subtracted because I'm in stealth mode. So if you wanted to run, you would turn off sneaking. You would be in run mode. If I turn off sneak right now, for example, and I mouse over this, you'll see that I can go much faster at the moment. I can go up to 15 miles an hour. But this will start to reduce if I become encumbered. So I'm going to click sneak again and just keep sneaking so that I can see. Oh, immediately, look at this. Oh my God. We are spotted, okay? And when you get spotted, what happens? You'll see all of these arrows appear, and these indicate to you who can see you and from what direction. So these red arrows, let's follow these over here, and there's this group of people running. And let's click on them, and you can see that these are hungry bandits. Hungry bandits, okay? They're hungry, they're desperate, they're bandits, they're bad. These people are going to try to kill us, all right, and take our stuff. So what we need to do right away is stop sneaking, and we need to just zoom out, and we're just going to kind of move the camera, and I'm going to run into the town. Run, okay? So what's going to happen now is I'm going to play it at regular speed, and these people are actually not pursuing me. So it's not a guarantee that these people will come attack me, but I am taking absolutely no chances that this cadre of armed bandits is going to play nice. And so as soon as you're spotted, you'll see that the eye appeared red on my sneak. I could see the arrows pointing to where they are, and I ran away. Now, if you're like about to be spotted, that eyeball will turn yellow, okay, to indicate that like something kind of sees you. Maybe it's like a warning, but because I had it on max speed and I was kind of talking to you, it just transitioned so fast. It was like blue to red instantly. So I'm just going to run back into the town, and this is what you do if anyone sees you, all right? Especially early in the game, because you're going to get wrecked. Now, there's no guards at the gate at the moment, so you're going to have to run further into the town, probably into the bar, to be safe. So what you could do in this case is say, I don't like the safety of this area, and just go ahead, push M to open the map, and go to Squin. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to continue mining this and sell it before I go, but that was a little bit scary. All right, so I'm going to push M to close the map and let them move over here. All right, I'm going to shrink this down a little bit just so the UI doesn't block me. And let's talk about something. We haven't talked about this yet. okay? But you'll see the game is auto-saving itself. You can push F5 to quick save the game. You can also push escape to just like save the game, okay? So that could be very, very helpful for yourself if you are interested in just experimenting or trying something out, all right? And you want to like, you know, come back and not worry about the fact that you've just been mauled while mining, all right? So F5 is your buddy. Escape, save on a separate file if you want. Okay. I'm going to let this group pass by. I'm going to actually speed it up, and you'll see them kind of just wander around. And this is just Kenshi. Like, there's just, like, wandering groups of people. And I'm going to move... I'm going to sneak again, and I'm going to move down here again. I'm going to tell my character to just mine this. And let's see what happens. I'm going to have my character moving. And, oh, I'm seen by... What am I seen by? Some goats? Yeah. All right, so these are goats. So goats see us, but they aren't hostile. They're herbivores. But if you look at these goats, they're probably the scariest goats you've ever seen in your life. So I'm going to left-click on them, and it says goat, and it says herbivore, so they're probably not going to mess with us. All right? And the arrow's pointed to them, so they see us, and let's just let them do their thing. I'm not going to fight them. I'm not going to mess with them. I'm here for the copper. So I'm shambling over, and I'm going to start continuing my progress here. You can just always look at this. And by the way, just as I'm going to pause it and talk to you so I don't get jumped again. As this bar fills up, if you have to leave the node, your progress is remembered, okay? So you don't lose all progress if you're just about to get a chunk and you have to run away. So that's very good. All right, I'm going to keep mining, letting this fill up. Again, you can push C and look at my laboring. It's already up to level 3, and you can mouse over laboring and see that that affects what? That affects your mining and your machinery usage, and you train that by working hard. Isn't that charming? All right, so we're going to close that up, and I'm going to show you this right here, where this copper resource is. This will stack up to 5, I believe. So we can just leave this here and let it stack up to 5. Now, it'll stack on this screen to 5, but until we get the right kind of backpack, it will not actually stack in our inventory. You can push the Arrange button to sort your inventory if you like. So we're just mining away, just leveling up our labor, trying to make some money so that we can get some better equipment for ourselves to ensure that we have a safer beginning to this game. And we're just keeping our eyeball on the blue eye to make sure that we're not spotted by anything. We can left-click on this, and we already have 2 nodes in here, right? So that's great. Oh, and here's a pack of things, and these are escaped servants from the Holy Nation Outlaws. So these actually should be okay, because the Holy Nation Outlaws, I believe, are the faction that kind of govern the hub. So this might just be like a defensive group. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to left-click on this. I'm going to right-click on this with my inventory open. You can't take it unless your inventory is actually open. I'm going to right-click on this. You see that we just became encumbered, by the way. Our weight is 18 over 16. So if I click on myself, you'll see that this actually... Oh, this doesn't affect us yet. We're not too bad. Okay, then that's pretty reasonable. I'm going to turn off Sneak. And I'm just going to run back inside the town. I think that we're okay from this group, but I just want to play it safe. So what can we do? Let's go to the bar. And while we're at the bar, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to just talk to the bartender by right-clicking, and I'm going to say, what's up? I'm going to pause, show me what you got, and I'm going to pause the game. And I'm going to sell all of my stuff. So you see we have 862. I'm just going to right-click all of this copper, and you see we already went up to 1,300 money. So that is phenomenal, okay? So I'm going to just escape, and I'm going to be happy with that amount of money. We've got food. Our hunger is not bad. It's dropped down to 284. That's fine. Can I buy more food from you? Do you have more food? They don't. I think they replenish their inventory every day, but they haven't done that yet. So what I'm actually going to do now, you could stay here and mine as much of that copper as you want. the resource nodes are indefinite, so you could just like make as much money as you want and just kind of stay around the hub. But I'm going to actually, for just, speeding up the tutorial a little bit, I'm going to go over to Squin. So to fast travel, you can just like right click on Squin on the map and you'll see a little flag appears. It's kind of hard to see, especially I'm on 4K, so the UI is a little bit smaller, but you can right click on the location on the map and now my character is going to travel there. And I'm going to kind of unpause the game and watch my character go, right? So my character is running here and I'm the blue dot and I can watch the blue dot. Now, it is up to you if you want to sneak while you travel to make sure that your character is safe. But what I kind of do is just watch myself like this and just keep an eye on the road for, dangerous things. What is this? This is a small copper resource. Okay, so it's even worse efficiency than the one that we found before, so not that great. So let's keep going. And we're following the road. And so far, so good. You can hold Alt to see if there's anything in the nearby area to interact with. There's not. And let me show you something else while I'm doing this. Now, I knew where those copper resources were because somebody pointed me in that direction. The iron was easy enough to find. But if you're looking for copper or any resource, here's something cool you can do. You see in the bottom right, there's this button that says Prospect. If you click on this, okay, it opens up this prospecting screen. Now, you can't do it while it's paused. You push play, and then, like, that progress bar fills up. And then you get this prospecting screen, and you can drag this window around. And you can look for water, fertility, stone, iron, or copper. We're going to look for copper right now. And you'll see how this green dot appears. This is where the copper is. Now, this arrow is not actually me necessarily. This is my camera and the way it's pointing. So I can use WAS and D, you can see, to move this white arrow around, okay, until I get it where the copper is, and then I can try to like find it. Where's the copper? Where are you saying there's copper, right? And it is right here. So by using prospecting, you can find a copper resource. It's actually all the way over here. Now, I left click on this, so my character might want to go get it, but I don't actually want to do that. It's 80% efficiency copper node, and that's something cool you can do to look for resource nodes if you have no idea how to find them. You just prospect for them, you select what you want, and then you move the camera until you find it. You can just move the mouse around, by the way, and when it turns into that mining pick, you know you have found it. Now, I'm going to close this prospecting window, and I'm going to go back to my character, and I'm going to select myself. And what is my goal? I am aimless because I kind of selected off of the map. So I'm going to right click again on Squin, and you can see that my goal changed to move order. And I'm just going to unpause the game, and I'm going to speed it back up, and I'm going to keep running along the road to try to make it. And there's something in my path. What is this? This is a pack bull. All right. So this thing looks terrifying, but it's following a leader from a nomad group, right? So somebody is leading this animal. And that is... Oh, okay. These are the nomads over here, I'm guessing? Yeah. So you see this line of, like, nomads. They don't appear outwardly hostile, but I don't trust anybody in this. Like, I'm always wary. So I'm scared, but they're not going the same way that we are. They're on a different road. We should be good. I'm just going to keep running. And yeah, the bull is going to go follow them eventually. Sometimes groups are trying to like travel together and then the terrain messes them up and they get, a little bit separated. And I'm just going to kind of do this. And I can right click on myself. I'll just follow myself on the map. And we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We're running on the road. Look at this. Here's a bad guy. He saw us. And he says, hey, half-wit, cough up some of those cats. So cats is the money, credits, cats, however you want to call it. Cats is the right way to call it, by the way. If you click on this dude, You can see that this is somebody who's making an announcement. It's the Dust Boss from the Dust Bandits, all right? So we don't want to have anything to do with that guy, so we're going to run as fast as we possibly can. We're running at 16 miles an hour because we're fast. We're not carrying anything to weigh us down, so we're just going to make a run for the border. And the border, by the way, as I move out, is here. This is Squin, way over here. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing, and we're just going to keep running. Hopefully this person isn't faster than us. He's telling his buddies to cut us down. We're just going to keep running. We're being chased. Oh my god. It looks funny when you're running at full speed and the game is sped up, by the way. This is how dangerous things are. We're flashing because we're somebody has us targeted, like they want to kill us. We're a target for somebody, but we're okay. And we are okay because check out Squin. This is why this town is awesome. You see right at the gates, there's all these like stacked guards. There are these Shek men and women, if that's the right gender terminology for the Shek, that are ready to just like rip apart anybody who is unscrupulous. And so if we run in here, let's see if this guy follows us. Because if he does, he's dead. This is so funny. This is like Keystone Cops. This is why this game is awesome. Look at this. I'm pausing it just for the fun of it. This is the leader of the bandits. He is trying to kill us. He's told his entire group to come fight us. We are trying to have our own group of people that we can give orders to like he does, but we're not there yet. We don't have a group of, people who will follow us to our certain death. And they're all chasing us, and they're like way behind us. And here's us. We're at the steps. We made it inside the town. Now they say flat skins talk too much. Whatever your business is here, make it quick. Flat skin, they say. This is kind of like their pejorative racist commentary about the fact that we're humans and they're Shek. They're a different species or race, rather. So anyway, let's move over here and let this happen. Let's see what happens to this dude if he tries to follow us into town. All right, I'm going to push just regular play mode, and he's trying to follow us in. And we can move further into the town. And boom, immediately, this guy has his weapon out and the guards are alerted. So this is a very popular tactic for getting some easy loot in the game early, is getting into a fight and leading it back to the town guards, because they will wreck whatever. You can even try to engage them in combat if you want to level up your combat skills. And they'll probably target the guards and not you if you're careful. Just make sure you don't hit any of the guards. All right? Now, we're just going to watch this happen. And the leader is about to die. You can click on the leader here and see that his chest is massively injured. And this dude is about to drop. If the rest of the rest of them are like walking away in shame as their leader gets killed, and they are picking up the body and going to dispose of it. So unfortunately, sometimes what happens is the guards will like massacre all of these. Ooh, there's about to be a fight though. Wait a minute. Let's check this out. The guards will massacre them, and you can go steal all of their stuff and like make some extra money by looting the dead, basically. So this group right here of Dust Bandits look like they want to fight this group of Dust Bandits. Let's see how this plays out. All right. So this guy is attacking enemies. Oh, yep. No, some of them want to fight the guards. Oh, this is so fun. All right, we're just going to watch this happen. So here comes ridiculous moment. No, okay, these guys weren't attacking. These are just part of the same group, and they're bringing up the rear, and they're going to try to shoot, maybe? Yep. Indeed. So there's a ranged cadre and a melee cadre. Now, notice how if we had got jumped by this group, we would have been so outclassed that we would have been re-rolling. But luckily, we made it to the town, so it's kind of dangerous to travel. You got to just run and be mindful, and we did okay. And now there's going to be a little bit of a scrum here. It's still going to be disastrously one-sided, where the town guards are going to annihilate this group. But I'm just going to watch this and just have fun. you can see the damage numbers appearing, okay? So here come the damage numbers, and let's just watch this. Yeah, this is what happens when bandits go wrong. And so while this is going down, hey, free loot. I'm going to walk out here. Now, you'll see that if I left click on this person, they're unconscious, 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 unconscious. So most of these enemies are unconscious and they will probably bleed out and die. Some of them might get up and walk away, but we're going to just try to take as much stuff of theirs as we can. Now, unfortunately, they don't really have good stuff, but they have some stuff. So let's move out here. The reason you want to left click on these enemies to check them is sometimes people are playing dead. So if you get like knocked down and you sneak, okay, you can kind of like play dead so that no one will come finish the job and you can get away. And sometimes the enemies do that. And so you want to be careful, like if you steal from somebody who's playing dead, they might get up and try to fight you, but chances are they're probably so hurt and weak at this stage that they're not going to do anything major to you, but you still want to, you know, be aware. Oh my god. Look at this limb. Look at this leg. Hey, if you want to know why you should play this game, check this out. This leg is flying through the air. It's a good like 30 feet in the air, by the way. And you notice how you can see it perfectly. And if I mouse over it, the bag icon appears as if I can take a severed human leg. That's Kenshi, baby. This is beautiful. All right, so I'm trying to get out here. Now, the guards are going to pick up some of these bodies, but not all of them, because they can't carry them all in one go. So let them do their thing, all right? Don't fight them. Just let them do their thing. Stop. And this will happen to you occasionally. They will, like, check you to make sure you don't have anything stolen. So if you go into the town and try to leave, the guards will, like, search you to make sure you don't have stolen items on you, and they can identify what's stolen, and they'll wreck you. This group, these kind of, like, horned, scaled, warrior-type dudes, they are the only faction, as I understand it, that completely does not practice slavery. They don't tolerate theft. They are like do-goods, like paladin, just like proud warriors that will annihilate you if you do anything bad. So if you have stolen stuff, you're in a world of hurt. So what you want to do is just click show them your gear, and they'll be like, cool, you're fine. This is okay. And let's just let them do their thing, okay? I'm just going to kind of let them all pass me. Now, you'll see how when I mouse over these bodies, the magnifying glass that appears is not red, meaning like I can take this stuff and it's not considered theft. So even if I have goods from these people, these sheks don't care. They only care if you steal stuff that's theirs from the town. So they're cool with it. All right. Now, if I right-click on this person, okay, ooh, they have a cool, like, helmet. All right, so I'm going to take this. And they have some nice armor. Let's take it. And they have some more, like, nice armor. Let's take all of this awesome stuff. Wow. All right, so now they're going to start taking some more bodies if they want, whatever. But they don't care about us, okay? The only people that would care that we're stealing from these groups are other members of the Dust Bandits, right, that would see it. But I don't think there's any Dust Bandits that are alive. Now, this is another awesome part about the game. You'll see that it has completely rendered that I've taken off all of the equipment from this person. And I can left-click on them and see that their head is bleeding. I mean, I can visually see that their head is bleeding. And they're going to die. So, you know, better their gear goes to use from me than others. But a lot of the time, what I've seen from these enemies in the limited time that I have with this game, they have just rags, like they don't have great stuff. But this is actually very, very good gear. However, you can see it says stolen from Dust Bandit, all right? So you have to sell it to someone if you want to sell it that doesn't care that it's from a Dust Bandit, okay? So you really want to be careful about that. And I would save the game, you know, just to be careful. Like, in the hub, they don't care. They'll buy whatever. Unless it's from their faction. But in here, we might want to be careful about that, and let's check it out. Now, this is heavy armor. Like, I don't know if I can actually wear this, but it sells really, really well. So, like, if I did try to wear this, you will notice that I have no training, and I have, you know, no great skill, but so this will encumber me most likely if I want to just go hog wild with this heavy armor, but it's a great thing to just have to sell, right? So if I can put this on my head, and immediately you'll see that I look awesome because I have this on. You can right-click to equip, by the way, right? So what I can do is I can look at my character's encumbrance, 0%. If I wear this, okay, and then I wear this, and then I wear this, and I unpause it, and I move over here. Let's see. How is my encumbrance? I've gone up to 21 of 26 weight just because of how heavy this stuff is, but I'm still okay. I'm still considered to be weightless at this point. So I think this is worthwhile to wear just to give us some survivability, and it looks awesome. I look legit now. I feel great. I can sell my horrible rag loincloth and be done with it. Now, another thing you can do is go over here. And this guy is, you can left click. What's he doing? He's bounty hunting. So he's going to go kill somebody. Or pick up a body. That's fine. So I'm going to right click on this body and see what they have. Ooh, they have a big old sword. Let's take that. I'm going to just right click it. And oh my gosh, I got caught stealing. But from who? From this person down here who is unconscious. So somehow they caught us, okay? And oh no, this was this person who I didn't click on them. Okay, so this person is here. So this person is going to probably want to fight us. So what are we going to do? We're going to run. I'm not even going to bother fighting. I'm going to run away. This guy's mad, but what can he do about it? Let's see who caught us. This person is going to die anyway. Most likely. They're getting up like they want to do something, but I could just stay and finish them off if I wanted to, but why bother at this point? Let's see what they do. Oh, they are going to come try to fight me. Awesome. Let's move over here. Sweet. And then, yeah, this guy's going to come annihilate them. Oh, no, they're not. Not yet. They have another job that they're doing. Okay. So let's see if any of the guards go rough them up. I'm just going to walk here and see what happens. Yeah, they did. So the guard is upset, and you see that they have this buff right here, or not buff really, just indicator that they've been caught committing a crime. So they've been caught committing assault, and the guards took care of it. But if you click on us, we have not committed a crime. They don't care. So we're good. So you kind of have to know, like, what's safe to do and what's not, and usually the hourglass is your, or the magnifying glass is your buddy for that. I keep saying hourglass. That's pretty funny. Okay. They're finishing off anybody who was trying to play dead and escape. Let's right-click on this person. You got anything good? Okay, this person still has that weapon. I'm going to right-click on it, and now we've got like a massive weapon, but we have become encumbered moderately by the heaviness of all of this stuff. So if we sell this iron club and we want to use this like saber, this horse chopper, we could maybe go down on encumbrance. So this stuff's kind of heavy. Maybe it's not great for us right now, but it seems pretty cool. I like it. And oh, they had boots. I forgot. That's right. Let's get these boots. Let me take these boots and I'm just going to wear them. Yes. I've got shoes now. Man, I feel like $1 million bucks. I'm going to arrange my inventory and I'm going to take all of this stuff. No room for that. All right. I'm going to just drop my pants and arrange and then carry it. And I'm right clicking to do that. I'm just going to get rid of my loincloth. And you see that I'm 46 out of 16 now encumbered, so that's pretty heavy, but that's okay. We can go sell this stuff. You'll see how slow I'm running, by the way, to reflect, like, somewhat that I'm encumbered. If I go here, you'll see that my run speed is like, capped because of all the stuff I'm carrying. So I'm minus 10 miles per hour because of encumbrance and armor and equipment. So I have to just be aware of that, but for the most part, it's probably a reasonable trade-off for some survivability if we want to do that. All right, now I'm going to run into the town. I'm going to be like, that's enough. I don't want to, loot these bodies anymore. You can loot as many of them as you want, by the way. That's up to you. I'm just going to kind of speed up this tutorial a little bit and show you inside the town. So now we're inside this Squin, this other settlement that you start, by the way, knowing the location of both the hub and Squin as a wanderer with this starting package. So we're in Squin, and like I said, there's way more shops. Remember, you hold down Alt to see the shop signs, and you'll see, oh, what's this? Left click on the building. This is the armor shop. Left click on this building. This is the weapon shop. This is a place to rest if we want. And then this building right here, for example, is for sale for $7,200. So you could buy a house to live in here. It's quite expensive, but this is like a sweet town. This building is also on sale for $7,200. And then this building right here is the backpack building. This is where I want to go. So I'm going to go over here. And it's open, so we're going to go inside it. I'm going to run in. You see the street lights kicking on. And, oh, it's closed. All right, so we can't go in there anymore because it's nighttime. So we're just going to be like, oh, okay, it's night. Let me get over here with my character. And tutorial dude is moving slowly but surely. All right, so we're safe. And let's see, is the bar open? It's open. Let's go in the bar. All right. And I'm going to go inside the bar. And Squin is awesome. Like, look how nice this bar is compared to the hub. It's huge. It's got these awesome wooden floors. Great. All right, so here's the barman here. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to quick save the game, okay? And I'm going to right-click on this dude. And I'm going to say I'm here to trade. Now, if I mouse over this, okay, it says right here, fencing chance 100%, okay? And if I right-click on this, okay, I'm going to pause it. Wait, we don't want the shop to close. I'm going to right-click on this and try to sell it to this dude. And right-click on it again. How much money do I have? $13.81. If I sell this, I get a little bit. If I sell this, I get a bit. And now I'm up to like 2,000 selling their stuff. Do I want to keep this weapon or do I want to keep my weapon? I'm going to keep the big weapon, and I'm going to sell this light weapon. And you see I go up to, down to 27 out of 16 weight, and maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want to do that. Nah, it's not that much heavier. Let's do this, okay? And then this is our money, all right? I'm going to buy some meat because I want another piece. And then I'm going to arrange this. I've got 2 meats and this, and I'm going to push escape and just unpause the game. And you'll notice that guy did not care that we sold the gear from that faction. He was totally cool with it. So the fencing chance was 100, meaning like you're not going to get busted for trying to do that. That guy will buy it. No problems. We're good. No crime. We just made a bunch of extra money. So that's amazing, in fact. We're going to zoom out, go over here, and I'm going to go into... Oh, camera got a little bit wonky as it's adjusting to the terrain. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go to this flop house and just rest. This is also considered to be a bar. So as we're standing at the top of the steps, this is the first time we've had to do this, but you can now move to the second floor and see what's on the second floor by using this item of the UI on the bottom where it says floor 0. If you click up, you'll now be able to see the top floor here. And if you want to use one of these beds, you should be able to just rest here without, getting in trouble. This is Atto from the Drifters. So I'm just going to kind of like center the camera on myself. I'm going to click on a bed. And paid 100 cats for bed rental. So you automatically pay the money, and we're just going to rest here and just pass time. So we're resting up. Time is passing. You can see the time right here where it says day 2. It's like 3 a.m. And we're just going to keep letting the time move on until the backpack shop opens up. This is a cool, safe town. And just to talk to you as we're resting, here's our remaining goals. By the way, we can rest here safely. Like, there's a guard, like, just making sure we can sleep in safety. It's awesome. And our goals now are just to make more money. and to get a bigger backpack. And we're going to do that. You see the sun is beautifully coming up. And I'm just going to left click on this building so I can see when it opens. And, you know, it'll just, down here in the lower left, it'll tell us, we're going to try to buy a house in here, and we're going to try to mine a bunch of copper nearby to make money, and also just cherry pick loot from any ridiculous bandits to get wrecked by the guards. Either ones that just come too close to the town in general, and the shop just opened, or ones that we lure back to the town if we wish. All right, I'm going to run over to the backpack shop. And you can see my character. I'm just going to double click 1 to follow with the camera, and I'm just burning rubber, and I've made it inside, and oh, it's a Scorchlander. He's like, come on in, have a browse. Cool, let's talk to this guy. And we're going to have a browse. Looking to buy? I am. All right, I'm going to pause the game. So, when you go to buy items from this dude, or whoever your shopkeeper is, you'll see backpacks, medium backpacks, sleeping bags, which you can, like, rest for free in the wilds if you want. Or there's a wooden backpack, and there's a bull backpack for pack animals, Garu for another kind of pack animal, and this is the one that we want. We want this wooden backpack because it allows for the stacking of items within a smaller space, particularly trade goods. So this will help us stack up, like, ore and things like that. If we buy these other backpacks, they're good, but this is the one that we want. And so what happens is I'm going to right click on this, I'm going to buy it, I give in the money, and you can see it goes right here on our backpack slot. And then what you do is you click open bag. I'm going to drag this window over, and you see that you have another inventory area for your backpack. So now we have a huge amount of space. Think about how rough it was to carry the stuff that we were trying to before. Now we're rocking and rolling where we've got ourselves a backpack inventory, and we can stack items. All right, so now we have like a little bit of extra cheese, and I'm going to buy an advanced first aid kit. I'm just going to right click on one of these. It's kind of expensive, but it's very, very nice, and that's it. I'm not going to buy a ration pack because it's incredibly expensive. Right? The dried meat is what we want early on. You can buy these maps if you want to fill in places on your map. So, like, if you buy those maps, then just like the hub and Squin were available, you can see, like, more places to go to. But I was advised, and I think this is a fun way to approach it, if you want, you could just explore on your own and find them for free. Or, if you want to have a better idea, you can do that. So, now, look how awesome this game is. I've got my armor, and I have this sweet square backpack on. I am looking really, really awesome right now. Okay, so I've got all this stuff, right? And I'm going to walk out here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to shift the camera. And what is this? Is this a dead person? Oh, it's a wolf. Bone dog. Aimless. Yeah, so this is some dead animal that got too close to the town that they chopped up. All right, fine. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk over here. Okay. And again, I'm going to look at myself, by the way. And you'll see that we are encumbered 51%, okay? Because of the fact that our backpack itself even weighs something, this weighs something, so everything weighs something. So, you know, we're not moving very fast. If you wanted to just sell all of this heavy armor so that you could move faster, you could totally do that. All right? I just like how it looks right now, so I'm going to keep it. It's, in general, actually, to be honest, it's a bad idea. Like, I should sell it and just save up for a house or something like that. But I like how it looks, and I like, you know, the modicum of protection it gives me. Like, for example, if I mouse over this, you'll see, like, I have a bunch of cut resistance, and it covers me well, and it gives you a bonus to martial arts if you're interested. I'm not. But now, if I look at myself, you'll see my athletics is raising if I run fast with a light inventory, so we're no longer raising that up, all right? But how do we raise up our ability to, like, wear armor, okay? That's what we're going to be thinking about potentially doing so that we can get away with this big armor. But anyway, in the meantime, let's click prospecting and unpause it, and let's look for copper. And you'll see that there is copper up here. I'm going to move my camera. So there is a copper node that's actually, you can just move this window right there, all right? And it is 80% efficiency. And then there's also a copper node over here. And let's see. It's right here. And it is 40% efficiency. So it's a worse node. So I'm going to go for the better node. I'm going to right click on this like that. And I'm going to tell my character to go over here. But we're going to start sneaking, okay? And I was being seen for a moment, but now I'm not. And I'm just going to get over here. And this is our node. And we're going to start mining. All right? And I'm going to left click on it. You can see the bar filling up. And we're at max speed. Daytime is passing. And all you want to do is just zoom out. And make sure you're not spotted by anyone. And if you are, know where to go. You run back here so that you do not die. And we're mining away. And somebody just spent some money in there is what it looked like. Interesting. Go in my inventory. Just kind of go. Yep, people are making it rain. All right, that's cool. So, I'm going to pause it really fast just to talk about what I just did while I'm mining. You'll notice I stacked my dried meat in my backpack. If I try to use it in my inventory, you'll see that you cannot stack it in your regular inventory. But if you get this awesome backpack, then you can stack it, saving even more space. When I came through here with another character, that backpack was not on sale. So sometimes this backpack won't be available and you just have to buy the best backpack that you see. Anything is better than nothing to carry more. But this is the one that you want. Like this kind of like, it says it allows for stacking. Boom. And we've already got some copper. And ding, we got 2 copper. Now I'm going to right click on this and twice, and you see that even the copper stacks in our backpack. All right. So we've got some stacking, so we are able to carry a bunch. Now, of course, our weight is, we're heavy encumbrance now. That makes sense. So here's what you got to do. If it happens, all right, I'm going to close my inventory. If it happens that while we're mining, we get detected, what you do is you pause the game, you push inventory, and then you just drag items out of your inventory and let go of them outside your inventory to drop them. The heaviest ones first, so that your encumbrance will drop and you can run as fast as possible, okay? In my experience, when I did that, it didn't seem to take time, so you could just like drop everything, just throw it out, just leave it behind and run back to the town, and stuff that you drop will remain there until you come back and get it, until you like zone or change the area or somebody takes it. So it's going to last for a long time, so just drop it and run. I dropped like a bunch of stacks of copper right here, ran back to the town. They killed the people following me, and then I came back and got all my copper and just went about my day. So just be ready to do that in a moment's notice if you need to. Now, with this amount of armor, I feel like we could go fight something light if we wanted to, like a singular animal or something weak, and see how we did. Hopefully close to the gates and then run away if it went badly. But I think we could stand in with a little bit more sustain, given all of this armor we have. But, maybe not. Maybe it's in our best interest just to try to make money and get some lighter armor to wear that gives us protection, but isn't quite as encumbering. All right, so we got another piece of copper. I'm going to just open up my inventory, right-click, and it goes into our backpack. Push I to close our inventory. And everyone, I think I'm going to end the starter guide here. The purpose of this was not to spoil anything, not to talk about endgame content, not to talk about min-maxing, not even to talk about like the most optimal stuff ever. It was really just to be as comprehensive as possible at explaining the controls and one approach to just getting your feet set in this game, getting to Squin, getting a backpack, getting the essential supplies of a first aid kit, having some food, starting to make money by laboring for a valuable resource like copper, or at least more valuable than iron, and getting your head around the controls, knowing how not to steal, understanding how to interact, so that you can enjoy and explore on your own. I want to leave it wide open for you to do whatever you want. And of course, I keep saying this, but like, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do this to start out. This is just one way that people advised me that I did, and through trial and error found some ways to streamline. And I think it's a fantastic beginning to this incredibly open and awesome game. Everyone, I hope you found this useful. Thank you so much for watching. If you have tips that you want to leave below that are non-spoilery, please do so. Like, please, the idea is just for new people to come and enjoy this, but keep that sense of discovery and wonder by not over-talking about, like, complete min-maxing numbers and where to go and, like, all this optimal stuff, but really just, like, the absolute basics. And I hope that I've presented some of that here. I know I missed a lot, but I really tried to just make this as easy as possible. So everyone, enjoy the game. Take care.